do I keep track of my chips and manage my stack during a game?
Keeping track of your chips, let's start with that first part, is done mostly by good players, well-seasoned pro players, in the simplest form of stacking all of your chips in increments of 20, volumes of 20. It's quick to be able to do the math on it. You can look at your stack and kind of gauge, with an approximate value how much you have in front of you. If you're putting them in stacks of 20, you can do some quick math on what you have. So a stack of 20 and $5 chips is 100. Stack of $25 chips and 20 is 500. A stack of $100 chips in a stack of 20 obviously is 2,000. So you can do some quick calculating by having them. And most good players are keeping all of their stacks in stacks of 20. You're going to have some beginners that put them in little smaller baby stacks of 10. That's another indicator of a newer player. They just keeping them in all small little stacks and taking up a lot of real estate. So I would avoid doing that if you want to give off the appearance that you know more than you potentially do. Keep them in stacks of 20. It's easier for math and for accounting. As far as managing your chips, that's really going to come down to the game that you're playing, whether it's tournament or it's cash. And I think it's just best to kind of have a goal in mind of what you're looking to accomplish. If it's a tournament, you kind of want to set a theoretical goal of how many chips you'd like to get to by a certain level or by the end of day one. When it comes to a cash game, have some form of a target, whether that's buying into a cash game with $500 and being super content making 1,000, or maybe it's only 700, and once you hit that target, being disciplined enough to get off of the table once you've hit your goal. And if you have targeted goals, it makes it easier. Some players play based upon time, so they'll say I'm putting in 6 hours, win, lose, or draw, break even, and then I'm done. Some other players will play if the action's really good. They don't want to leave the table either, so that can be another element where they want to maximize it being a really juicy table with players that are horrible and are losing money and just waiting to just take as much as possible before those players bust out or leave. Once obviously the bad players leave, it's typically a sign. I see a lot of players will just cash out. They'll rack up their chips and go to the cage. So I think it kind of depends on the scenario on the table as far as managing your money. I think the easiest thing though is just have some form of a goal, a certain target you're trying to hit. Once you hit that target, cash out and leave, come back the next day or for the next session.